have everyone here?
Couldn't be better. I told the guys inside I've been counting down the days for 3.5 months for today. It's been great spending time with the pitchers, much needed. Got a lot of work done, but to have the whole group together, something special. Just it's official. Here we go. Let's take off.
What was the message in the meeting to the guys?
Yeah, said a lot. I mean, it took a long time, so I must have said something. But, I've always said this. I'd love to bring as many people in. We love our fans and keep them involved in everything we do. But I think the more that broadcast some of those messages, I think the less effective they end up being. I think we all just address some things that we believe challenging, some encouraging, but just being real and making sure that when we head out here, we head out with a purpose and what it is that we're working for.
One of the things that some of the veterans, you gave them a book in the offseason, Legacy. What was your message, or what were you hoping to get out of some of those veterans learning from that book?
Yeah, and actually going back, that dovetails the previous conversation, the previous question of what the message is. The message is basically what I'm getting from these guys, and that book in particular, they all wanted to be pushed a little bit in leadership and realizing that if we're going to be as good as we could possibly be, we need certain players in that clubhouse, regardless of what we do as a staff. We need some of these players taking some of that leadership role, and for the ones who've either one showed the interest or two kind of showed propensity for it, let's do something about it. And so the book about the All Blacks is really about leadership and character development. Take a team that's one of the winningest in sports franchise history, and how they take that little group of people and continue to win at a high level. What are they doing? I mean, everybody wants to understand that culture, because that's what we're talking about there every single day is the culture we believe makes Kansas City Royals special, and also challenging ourselves with some things that we think we can do different.
It's about a rugby team. We talked to Witt in there. He didn't think he could play rugby. You ever play any rugby though, Mike?
Didn't play rugby. A lot of football, but no rugby. But I once again, the messages are pretty universal. And I tell you, I want to go watch though. I've watched a few games since I started studying the All Blacks. But it just kind of crosses all lines when you start talking about character, you start talking about leadership, you start talking about successful teams. You want to take what you can see from them.
One of those guys who exhibits those characteristics is Salvador Perez, who you talked about earlier this week. Can you talk about kind of that infectious personality that he has in the clubhouse and how important that is to his organization?
We celebrate Salvi. He is an ambassador for the game of baseball, league-wide, let alone for what he does for Kansas City. This guy is special. He's a special talent. He's the kind of player that makes every manager smarter. He's a team that first kind of player that is always looking. We talk about some of those characteristics. There's no coincidence that you talk about Salvador Perez, and he's got a big ring on his finger and an MVP for a World Series, and how he uses his talent to go make a positive impact on the other guys. It's very unique. But you add that to having a guy like him behind the plate is priceless. Having him in the middle of your lineup is priceless, and having him in that clubhouse is probably even maybe more than all the above.
Can you see the same thing for Alex Gordon, a guy who probably I don't think people would have blamed him kind of walking away in the offseason, but coming back to this team?
Yeah, you know what it was. I'll share with you part of that. Was part of that meeting in there, and it kind of happened organically that a group of guys all gave an ovation for one of their teammates. A guy decided to come back here. I think I've said this before, it's one of the great stories in baseball when you have a guy who's as accomplished as Alex, such an incredible, once again, an ambassador, that he chooses that he wants to remain in this city and play here in front of these fans. I think that just speaks volumes about Alex, but also about the Kansas City Royals organization and the community. But you could see how much his teammates respect him. And I heard that as soon as he signed, man, my phone was blowing up with how excited these guys were, and they know how Alex goes about his business is what it's supposed to look like.
I think Witt and Hunter obviously can go out and play the outfield, but I think it's 4 true outfielders that are on the 40. Moves can be made, right? There are guys that can come up and do that. But
yeah,
how important is it to have? I mean, how necessary was it to have him decide to come back and play here? Because maybe you're a little thin up at the 40-man level at outfield.
Well, I just think you want great players. I'm talking about a guy who won a Gold Glove. It's amazing people want to keep talking about age, and you can throw that out the window. You got a guy who won a Gold Glove, And you watch the at-bats that he took, all in all. I mean, yes, all the leadership stuff, it's important. All the character stuff is important. But you got to go compete and you got to go play. You're talking about a high level of play here and just a consistent performer, let alone with all the intangibles that he brings. So it's a huge deal for us when we know that's going to be in left field and what he brings every single night. You know exactly what it's going to look like.
I know it's day one, full squad workout. Do you see any competitive places where there's a little bit more competition than other spots on the field as you foresee?
Oh yeah, we've been very clear. I mean, this pitching staff, it's nothing but competition, and I think it's healthy, regardless who it is. We just got through talking about a couple guys with all the accolades you could ever get, but I watch Salvi go out here. I watch him go out in this early work, and he's telling these guys verbally, you guys come and try and get this job, but you're not going to get it from me, right? I'm not going to give it to you. You're going to have to earn it, and you're going to have to outwork me. And he tells them that verbatim. And you watch Alex work. I mean, look at the shape he's in. It's unbelievable. How he's going to go prepare, and then how he goes and competes. That creates competition. When your very best players are the ones that are out working the hardest, it's a great spot to start.